Generic greetings and welcome back to Prison Architect, where for the first time in this prison's history we're about to do a full shakedown and hopefully we will find lots of drugs so we can then give them to high-ranking political officials for, dispose of them. Yes, that's what we mean. So we have not yet found the 10 drugs that we need for this crackdown on drugs. Once that is completed, however, we'll get a nice 15 grand payment there, which we can use to expand the prison. In terms of expansion, the things that we want to do is actually more admin-y stuff. I mean, obviously we do want to add different buildings in, but really I want to start running some different programs as well as go for, I think it would be most beneficial to go for a taser rollout and also guard towers as well. But we'll see how we get on. So we are finding things like mobile phones, we're finding other things such as climbing ropes. Currently we found a club, poison, cell phone and rope. However, in the last 24 hours you can see we have found things like needles and poison and lots of poison for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. Also, people have managed to smuggle drills in, so I don't know how they managed to get through there. In fact, yeah, you can see it was detected there and then detected twice there. So how on earth it managed to get all the way here before someone getting searched, I do not know. Anyway, it looks like, after all of that, we only managed to find a total of 1 extra narcotic, so we're on 40% there, which is a bit of a shame. However, over the course of the prison, obviously that will change. Currently, we do have some hygiene ratings that are quite high. In fact, I think every single prisoner that we have here is maxed out, which is interesting, and I don't know why it's that high, because we do have this shower in, and it's all connected up and everything like that. So Interesting. Anyway, danger level will slowly be going up because of that. It actually says, decreasing for some reason now. I don't know why, but I'm not going to ask questions. So, what do we need to crack on building with? I think we need to go through education through reform initiative. That would be of some use. Let's go over to objects, and we do need to place a office desk in like so, and probably a chair in like so, and then we need to think about school desks, which will probably just go 1 2 3 4 1 2 3, actually no, 3 and 3 probably, with the gap in the middle there, and that should be fine. Now this won't be a totally maxed out one, I don't think. 3 6 9 12 18, we can have 19, 20, so that is actually maxed out now, that's fine. And that would be that a little bit further on the way to completion. So we have a little bit of a kick-off here, so it does seem to me that something's going on there. Where is it? Is it over here? Yes, it is. They are a confidential informant, Mr. Sean Piddock. However, they have no other traits or reputation or any experience, so that's interesting. I don't know why they've booted off. Could be for any number of reasons, you understand. Anyway, danger level is going up there, but if they were going to kick off, they would have done it in this yard here. It's almost about to hit shower time, and they'll go there, and then we will hopefully see this need absolutely hit the deck. So you can see, in terms of hygiene need, every single prisoner, and it's kicked off. Because every single prisoner has a huge hygiene need, and for whatever reason they've decided to boot off now. I'm going to put us on free fire because that's just the way we roll there, and hopefully that'll put this right. I was going to say put this right down, but that's a lot more prisoners than I expected. Right, let's turn that free fire back off now. So it looks like the hygiene need was a bit of an issue. 10 deaths. This is becoming, I believe, one of the bloodiest facilities we've ever made. Without really any error, any margin for error, really. And it's to do with this hygiene. See, only some of that's being fulfilled, and it's mainly because all of these prisoners are waiting to be escorted to cells, to go to solitary. That's the problem, that they go to solitary and they never get washed. That's the problem. Anyway, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. In terms of our intake, you can see we have got some new gang members. We've got an extra green gang member and 2 new blue gang members. In terms of informants, we have a lot of traits there, but nothing that I'm seeing that needs to be put into protective custody. No, I'm not seeing it. Okay. So the danger level of the facility is high, and it is pretty much at the highest level it can be. That is a massive issue, and we do need to sort that out. I'm going to go up to staff and go 1 2 3 4, hire more guards there. We have 24 regular guards. Wow, okay. And we also need to increase the size of our solitary area because it is just not big enough. So that's, I guess, one of the issues that we have, is because we haven't finished solitary, it means that a lot of these prisoners are waiting to go through that process. So let's go ahead and sort that right out. Ideally, we would have this completed. In fact, a lot of the time when we get prisoners, we've already got this done pretty much in its entirety. Although we did, I wouldn't even say rush prisoners in this episode, but maybe well, it's rushed for what we normally do, because normally, as I said, we've already completed a lot of this. But yeah, we thought we'd get them early, and not everything was built. But it was a cash flow thing. We just had to do it. These don't have any automatic door openers, and that was completely intentional. We weren't going to do that. We weren't going to have it. I think I do want a armed patrol inside there, like so, and we can place another solitary bit over there. And solitary, there we go. Obviously danger level is getting high there, but these prisoners will hopefully be eventually, well, we'll go through this process and then we'll head out, and that should alleviate a lot of the issues that we're having there. So what else do we need to do? Well, in terms of our programs that I mentioned, there's a couple of things I want to fire up. Behavioural therapy would be nice, but it's expensive. Foundation education would be pretty good as well. That's only 3 interested, and with this being the type of prison that it is, i.e. there's a lot of guns basically, there won't be a lot of concentration, so reform in that regard was probably not going to be quite high in the first place. But anyway, these prisons here they're not leaving. I don't know what I've done differently. I mean, because if I end that punishment, where are they going to go? Yeah, they're going to wander off wherever they want to go. But we don't want that. We want them to always be only in that protective custody area. Lockdown permanent. Sorry, you're just going to have to go back. Because normally they can wander around. Even on lockdown permanent, they can do that. Okay. We might have to check that up. So it looks like the laundry is working alright. Cleaning cupboard working fine. We have found some more drugs, probably due to the intake that we've just had as well there. So that's okay. There's a dingling noise, which will probably be our taser rollout there. So now that we have taser rollout, we can go down to guard taser certification. We're going to start that. We're going to run at least a couple of days of that just to get that sorted. The warden is calling us, and it says that the subsidence of the land has basically meant there's a big hole in the wall. Well, that is not entirely something that I really care about at this particular point, because, well, quite clearly it's miles away. Even if it was like this bit here, it wouldn't really be a problem. So yeah, we've managed to fix that really without incident, if we're honest with each other. Okay, so we do have these chefs working quite hard there. Maybe expanding the kitchen is the way to go at some point, but let's go over to our foundations and building concrete, and we want to put in these rooms here. Now, these are going to be all manner of rooms. The top one primarily is going to be our parole room, and I think I'm best putting parole in sooner rather than later. I must confess, it's quite nice having this facility just as essentially one type of prison. I know we've got a couple of types. I know we've got protective custody down here, but basically we've just got the one type in and around here, whereas previously in the last 2 prisons that we've had, it's been prisons within prisons, so fully self-contained units on the same map, which meant 3 types of prisoners with 3 types of different problems, 3 sets of personalities, plus if we have ever had Supermax and then death row and protective custody, it was just a nightmare to deal with, but we managed it in the end, so it was quite good. So this is going to be all manner of buildings here. So we're going to go over to parole. We're going to place that in like so, 5 by whatever. The next one, well, what else do we need to have? We need to have a mail room and a shop. The shop's going to be the bottom one because it has a minimum size of 4, so that's now in. The mail room will go next to it because it feels about right. And then finally, on the right-hand side, we will have a library because minimum size 5 by 5, so that is now in. Although, do I want to place the mailroom in there? It might be better. I think actually it would be better to have the mailroom on the other side. So we'll place the mailroom in like so, and they'll crack on with that. We do need to place some doors, so let's crack on with that too. So doors for the library will be up top, and doors for the shop will be up there as well. Actually, yes, it will be up there, but we need to put in all of the other stuff as well. So for a start, walls, because they're generally useful for separating things. And then we will have everything else put in here. We do already have a visitor table, so it should be quite an easy way of just shoving that in. We put it right at the back, so you have to make a long walk to that. We will go ahead and assign a guard to that. Actually, we'll cancel that off for the time being and wait until it's a separate building, which it is now. And that's about it. I'm just checking over here to make sure that nothing else has been changed in terms of designation, which it doesn't look like it has. So that's fine. We've still got this person here in solitary for 36 hours, does that say? Okay. Attack prisoner, attack staff, serious injury and murder. 2 days in the prison. That definitely says solitary 36 hours. End punishment. Let me just check to make sure that I've got this policy correct. It is. It's just because he's done so much stuff. Okay. Extremely deadly. That's what it is. That's why there was so many deaths. Nothing to do with the shotguns that we were firing. Nothing to do with it at all. Over to needs. We can see that needs have been sorted for food especially, which is good. There will still be some food need in and around here, but that's not too much of a problem. So let's crack on with our... Why is that a different shade? I have no idea. Anyway, so library and shop. We'll do shop first. Shop will have a shop front, like so, and you need shop shelves and tables. So tables, and then shop shelves. I guess it'll have to be that, really. There's no real other way of doing it, I don't think. Although you want more shop shelves than anything else. Shop shelves like that. Tables like that. It's a bit tight, but it's okay. For the library, we need probably these. Library shelf and sorting desk. There's that fine. And mailroom is sorting desk and table. There we go. There's that in. And we will run some electrical cable in there as well. Probably just along like that, and then that's all connected up. Right. So, currently 1 o'clock in the morning. We are going to receive, apparently, 0 prisoners arriving at 8 AM. Interesting. I thought we would have received some prisoners. It being... Yeah, I thought we would receive some prisoners. The kickoff that we had. Although, no, that kicked off in the morning before the arrival. Which means I might have to... No, I think I double checked the arrivals, but I'll double check again. Yeah. Cursory glance, I can't see anything that requires prisoner movement. We do have confidential informants, which we can't really do anything with, because even though the security room's here, it's not built. It does require an office desk and a chair. We'll have a couple of chairs in there and a filing cabinet. And that should be that pretty much sorted. In terms of cash, 517. Not great. I was going to say, let's do a shakedown and hopefully we'll find some more narcotics. Looks like danger level is low. It will start to rise as we search prisoners, but I'm hoping that we do that one. Looks like it's on 90%, so 1 more drugs and we found it. So we found the drugs. In terms of grants, we have tool cleanup once again. And it says remove the supply of stolen tools and stolen weapons. We've already just done the tools there. So... It does say stolen. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean taken from this facility and hidden, or does it mean just brought in? I can pretty much... I pretty much expect it to be just on the map. It doesn't matter where it's from. And there's another 20 grand advance payment. We've got inmate nutritional research, which we will pick, and that means that within a very short space of time, we have now got a total of 35 grand up from the, I think it was about 500 that we had. So, that was worth it, wasn't it? Right, we're going to go over to objects and to cooker. I'm going to place the cookers all the way down like so. And we probably want to hire a couple more cooks, I think. And they can crack on with all of that, we should have enough power for that. You can see this power is just above medium, above the middle ground, but we really can't run it much higher once considering we've got this. So certainly when we get the workshop put in, it's going to have to go around here. Anyway, so a lot of the prisoners are going to go to the yard. We've just finished the searching, which should be fine. In terms of needs, we have, once again, that massive critical hygiene need. So I think I'm going to have to change this around. So we have shower right in the morning, which is normally what we do anyway on our standard regime. But this is far from a standard regime. Let's change this to shower, and they'll go off there. Do I have a yard time? I think I'm just going to have an extra, some more free time there. Hang on. All shower, please. Everybody go for shower. Go for shower. Right, there we go. And there's that need going right down. If you give them free time, they just wander off and go and do their own thing and don't have a shower. So it just makes no sense. Right, so there's that shower time there done. We will change this now to free time. So we have an hour of free shower time, and then 2 hours of free, and then they'll crack on doing the rest of it. Which is similar to what we had previously, but this is certainly something we have altered there. It looks like it is kicking off in different places. Unknown reputations, deadly. Obviously we've got volatile prisoners, we've got all sorts there. There's the free time. So danger level is still going up because of what? Recreation, which is now being fulfilled for some of them. Oh, it's eat time now. As people have pointed out, you can very easily put pretty much anything into, well, most rooms, but specifically a canteen and a common room. A canteen, you can place TVs in there, you can place all sorts. So if they're not fulfilling their needs for food, so if they're just sitting, like, well, standing around like this person here is, like Adam, you can, like we have done on the left there, place some phone booths or TVs or arcade cabinets and stuff like that. In fact, that might be something we could place. Put a couple of arcade cabinets in, do you reckon? Let's dismantle some of these phone booths. Like so. Because I'm going to put some phone booths in this common room anyway. At least that was the plan. And let's put in here, let's put some arcade cabinets. And they should use them. And there we go. And it means that I can then place these spare phone booths in here. Like that. Should be fine. I don't know if they're actually going to use that, any of this, but we'll see. We'll see. Certainly you're going to have to look at sorting this out. You can see we've got these work/free time sort of sitting around here because they've got lockdown permanent. But even previously they used to wander out, so I'm not too sure what to do there. Some of these prisoners have got 4 hours in solitary, 1 hour in solitary. Oh, that's okay. That's no problem there. It looks like programs are getting ran. You saw them sitting around in here. I don't know if we have to set up any more of that. Let's go over to programs. We can see guard taser certification. We've got 15 in the queue, so we need to keep running that. I will not bother putting any more in. We could start some more, so that's fine. That's alright for the spiritual guidance there. Workshop safety, don't need to bother. Behavioural therapy would be good. Pharmacological treatment to drug addiction is... do we want to do that? There's only 2 in the queue, so probably not. And same as Alcoholics Group. For the type of prisoners we have and the facility we have, it's actually got a very little drug and alcohol abuse problem. Parole hearing 0 in the queue, but I'm just going to start that up because I don't think it costs, does it? No, it doesn't. So I'm just going to start up that as much as possible because it doesn't cost. There's no cost associated with that. However, we can see that the foundation education, you can see the 0 interested. The reason for that is the interest and also their when they're actually doing it. So their focus is limited by basically the amount of violence that's being exhibited in the prison and the suppression. So we have a lot of prisoners suppressed because of the armed guards. So that's quite difficult to teach prisoners when there's all that going on. Anyway, in terms of cash, we've got 25 grand. I think instead of doing the rest of that, could we go for perhaps Workshop Safety 2 are interested? It is possible that we could do that. What I'm going to do is go to building concrete, and we'll get this built. Like so. We do want a large jail door up there. And we will have an automatic door opener on it. And we will also have a... Oh, hang on. Do we want a large jail door? No, maybe not. Maybe just a standard. Maybe just a standard door. Actually, we don't even need a jail door. A staff door would do. Any door, really. But we're going to put an automatic door opener on it, is what I'm getting at. But this also means running some more electrical cable. Looks like that's in. That's fine. So this is our workshop. We do need to place this in first, which is our extra power area. So I'm actually going to change my mind. I think getting some more cells up and running are the way forward. So we're going to crack on over here. It's going to be basically constructing the bottom part, and then we know that everything on the left is done. We'll see how we get on. And see just how much money we get. So we're going to get another extra set of prisoners, as well as so for the intake for that, which I think is £1,000 each for high-risk prisoners, and then obviously we'll get a decent amount of money for the daily cash flow. So yeah, looks like eat time is underway. No real issue there, as far as I can tell. Needs are getting sorted, and they are using. Looks like the arcade cabinet is getting used, so that is taking care of some recreational need as well. So that's good. Luxuries and literature, that's not getting fulfilled at all. However, if we go over to logistics and prison labour, we are going to assign jobs to the library, the common room, sorry, the mail room, the library, and the shop. However, the library I always thought required the basic level of education, which it doesn't actually say there's a certain need for that. But I think there still is, unless it has been changed. Anyway, so looks like this is in. We're going to go to rooms, cells, and clicky, clicky, draggy, draggy over to the right-hand side there. And then we'll work over to the right. And we are basically cloning. Not really cloning, actually, but we're sort of copying these cells here. And then once it's in, we can clone. In fact, I could probably have cloned that, to be quite honest with you. Not that it matters. Once we're done, we're done. And there we go, there's another boatload of prisoners, if the boat is exactly this size. So, we have, I was going to say, get boat architect. Now the paradox zones, you never know what DLC we're going to get. And to be fair, the escapists, I believe you can escape from a boat one. Or am I just making that up? I don't know. Anyway, holding cell, we'll place that in there, where we haven't built one of these previously. So, actually we did, technically we did have one previously. We just never, like, yeah, we just never really bothered with it too much. Because it was elsewhere, you see. And for pipe work, it's that. It can kick off in there, so at least we do that and it's isolated, but I don't know whether it'll reach. It should reach. It's about right. It's about right. So we have nowhere near enough guards for the needs of... for armed guards, I don't think. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. That should hopefully sort that out just a little bit better there. Obviously, that's took us down to minus 1,269 per day. That's not strictly right because we do have... Oh, look at that hygiene need. So tomorrow, prisoners... yeah, they are going to go straight to the shower. Yes, I digress. I was saying that it's not strictly true because we've got things like the guard taser certification, which we're only going to be running temporarily, but even that's $100. What else, really? To cheapen it out? Well, spiritual guidance is good. Probably can knock that on the head. There you go. That's going to save a little bit of money. To save all the monies, we could do the inmate nutritional research now, which is... serve a single low-quantity, low-variety meal for 2 days, and then serve 3 high-variety, high-quantity meals for 2 days. What we'll probably do is get this next intake of prisoners. We will then have a normal day, so normal feeding and all of that sort of thing, normal menu. And then the day after, we'll do the low, and then the day after that, we'll do the high. So that should get us that done. And that should be fine. In terms of this area, I am preemptively going to run a power cable, and it's going to run basically along there, like that. And it's going to be in a row, isn't it? So we might as well just get rid of that bit. And then go down to there. That should connect that up, and then that'll connect that up. Okay. And that'll all go to this, which is currently not built, but it can be at some point. In terms of deployment, we haven't set any particular deployment on that, nor are we going to. I've also have not set it as a workshop yet, because if I did, it would be all kinds of bad. What would happen is that people would come in and nick stuff, and we really don't want that. We've just got a... Oh, here we go. Is it going to kick off? I can already hear it kicking off, but hopefully, once to get the shower, danger level will go down. Certainly hygiene need is getting sorted. But there is some fighting there. There are some people kicking off. It says lockdown and solitary there. So he gets both? I guess so. I always thought you got the highest level, but that is not the case. See, at free time, they're going back to their cells, yet they do have some recreational needs, so I don't know why they're not going to like the common room or anything. It's certainly not set as any particular deployment, so I don't know why that's happening. Anyway, looks like we have someone on parole there. This is Prisoner Warren Clark, age 40. Chance of parole. Currently doing parole hearing there. Estimated reoffending chance 9%, so he should be paroled. He should be one of our first prisoners that's been paroled early. Let's see if that is the case. Why is he just weed everywhere? And now he's going back in for another bite of the cherry, another crack of the whip. He's doing 2 parole hearings? I don't know what's going on there. Interesting. Anyway, in terms of prison grading, 0 prisoners being released and 10 prisoners need to be released in total. There's 1 death today. Casper Carr Grubble has been killed. What? I have no idea why they are there. That prisoner is on permanent lockdown. They are definitely snitch, yeah. Lockdown, sleep. They were on permanent lockdown, and yet they've managed to get to there and do some of that. And now they're wandering back. Interesting. Interesting. That's not great. I don't know what to do about that. I have a feeling the more I play this map, and it is just a gut feeling rather than like being informed or anything like that, honestly. I have a feeling that because this is an older map, and we loaded it, and then we used the extras to put some stuff on, the map settings there. I've done that before, and it seemed to work fine. However, because it's been an older map, it might have some stuff in it, some legacy stuff, that makes things act a bit weird. Because it does seem to be acting differently to previous times we've played it. Like things like that, where these are always in there rather than going in here, even though it's... I know they're on lockdown, but we've had it so that they can wander in here before anyway. That's not a problem. Like leaving the rooms to go there, has happened before, but that was like very earlier saves, I guess. Prisoners, the needs just seem to be different. Like I know I didn't fulfill them right at the beginning, but they just seem to be different. Like they're not fulfilling them when they should be, or we've got enough so they should not fight yet they then do, and it could just be a quirk of the prisoners that we've got and just how it is, but I don't know. It's maybe something to investigate, but we will leave it there for now. Still decent progress. We've still got... Why is that not completed? It does not have a toilet in it, because apparently I did not put a toilet in there. And that's generally a good reason. So that should now be done. Yeah, we have a total of 59 prisoners. That is 57 maximum security, 2 protective custody. We have obviously enough room for another 50 odd, I would imagine. So yeah, it's getting there. It's quite decent. I didn't think we'd have this many prisoners and certainly this amount of bother. But it has made it interesting and had made it a bit different, so I don't really mind that. Looks like we've got a lot of prisoners working in around here as well, so that's good. So hopefully things like the mail room, the mail stuff will be sorted, although I'm not seeing any mail things happening. But we do have the shop shelves which are getting sorted there. You can see all the stuff on the shop shelves, and also the library shelf is getting sorted as well. Just nothing on the mail yet, so hopefully that will start flowing through, and it looks like the needs are a lot less than what they were, so hopefully things are starting to settle down. Next episode we will progress on. We will probably go for perhaps some workshop, perhaps some more common room. Haven't yet decided, but we will see. As always, hope you have enjoyed the video and the series thus far. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.